Israelites prophesizing the downfall of this kingdom, and we're telling our people, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to repent because these are the last days. However, we understand that only the elect are going to be sealed, right? Like the scripture says. Get that real quick? Because not every Israelite is going to come around to this knowledge. You're going to always have Israelites that stumble across this knowledge. It's like a stumbling block to them. They'd rather adhere to other information or stick to what they know. You know what I'm saying? You go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 7, verse 4. Let me start up a little bit. We'll start at the first verse. This is Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. It says, "And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascend from the east, how And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads."
In other words, the destruction is not going to come until the elect are sealed. The knowledge of the Most High and His wisdom and truth is sealed in their forehead. So, some people think the elect is sealed already, or it's going to happen in the future. You know what I mean? But either way, the elect are going to be sealed. And the only way that happens is by brothers coming out here and teaching, putting up videos, and spreading the word, you know? Because if everybody wasn't doing anything and they wasn't doing their part, then where would we be in this journey, right? Where would we be in this advancement? You know, the truth has really spread over the years, especially through the help of the internet. So it's almost like you really can't even say that you didn't have the opportunity to get this knowledge.
Fourth verse. It says, "And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000, and of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000." That's the point. Out of the 12 tribes, you have 12,000 men out of each tribe that would make up the 144,000.
Exactly. So, you know what I was meditating on? So, this is the question that I've been thinking of. Is this the end of the economy?
Yeah, I think so. Looking like it.
Because as we all should know, Trump enacted the tariffs between Canada and Mexico. Now, the U.S. has always had trade relations with those countries for years and years now. So, that's going to have an impact on the economy because there's always been goods that have been imported and exported. So now, what companies are going to have to either do is absorb the impact of the cost, or they're going to pass it down to the consumers. Or it's going to be like a 50-50, a little bit of both.
It always gets passed down to the consumer. It's like that with anything. Like even like apartments. Like when the rent is going up because their property value is going up, and the owner is going to pass it off to the tenants to make up the difference. He's not going to take the brunt of it and pay on his own. How is he going to make a profit that way?
Exactly.
You got a precept?
Yeah, I do. Or get Isaiah 24:7.
This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 7. It says, "The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh."
Yeah, because the good old days is over. Everybody's doing bad.
Everybody's feeling the squeeze right now. says the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth.
And mirth means entertainment. So now it's like, yo, I seen a video of Vegas, and they say that usually around this time of year, like Vegas and the city is supposed to be active and full. Yo, it look like a ghost town.
Yeah.
Hardly anybody out there, because people are realizing, yo, it don't even make no sense to go out and spend all this money. You might as well just stay home.
Yeah. Really, I'm surprised. This is tax season. This is when niggas get proud. Niggas is outside.
But you know how you'll really be able to gauge it when it gets warm out.
Yeah.
Like if it gets warm out, and you still don't see like anybody in no clubs or places like that hardly, then you're gonna know that the economy is doing bad. But you know, as for us, we already been on this type of time.
Yeah. This ain't no shock to us.
Yeah, we ain't really outside like that.
Right. It says, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There it says, there is crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone.
Yeah, because everybody's looking for answers. They're like, yo, how are we gonna fix this way of living crisis that we're going through? You know what I'm saying? And they thought that Trump was the answer, but have you seen his approval ratings?
Yeah.
It's negative.
Yeah.
It's going down. So now people are waking up and realizing that he ain't got the answers. So what's next?
You got people making TikToks and videos about them losing their jobs. And they was like, I voted for Trump. And you got Fed workers that lost their job. Now they second thinking like, damn, the right decision.
Oh, did you hear about how Nebraska's going bankrupt?
The what?
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Now connect the dots. Let's see if you could figure out why they're going bankrupt now. Nebraska.
Oh, Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Man,
The illest nigga in Nebraska.
who really lives there though? Like, is that really a place that generates revenue like that?
Well,
Nebraska?
they got a lot of Mexicans over there, like it's Hispanics that was over there.
Oh, really?
So the thing is, the farmers, they're losing their workers now because of the deportation. So that's causing them to not have work that gets done.
Yeah.
So they're saying give it like maybe 3 to 6 months to go. The state's gonna go bankrupt because they don't have nobody to work the fields over there.
Because you can't afford to hire an American to do these jobs. One, they're not gonna do it because it's just not in their spirit to do it. You know, they want easy work. They're not trying to do that back-breaking labor. And two, you just can't afford an American to do it. They're gonna want an actual wage with benefits and all that.
Hey, for an American to even consider doing that job, you would have to pay them at least $50 an hour.
Something healthy.
At
And
least
then-
$50 an hour plus benefits.
And at that point,
But even that's not enough.
yeah, and at that point, you can't even make a profit doing that. So that's when you just shut down your business.
So now they're going bankrupt. And the vast majority of the people in that state, they voted for Trump. So now they regret it. They voted for their own demise.
It was inevitable.
I mean, the guy told you what he was going to do. He said he's going to seal up the borders, deport everybody, abolish the IRS.
Place
Now look.
tariffs.
Look,
He said all this.
and it sounded like a horrible idea from the jump, especially the tariffs.
Right.
Because that should be obvious that that's going to be passed down to consumers.
If you know what a tariff is, you
And
already know that.
producers.
That was a bad idea.
So it's going to cause the price of everything to go up.
As if it's not high already. This is Isaiah 24:12. It says, "And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, and as the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done. They shall lift up their voice, they shall sing for the majesty of the Lord Yahweh. They shall cry aloud from the sea."
That's it. Verse you at?
That was 14th verse.
Okay, that's it. So the point is, this place is cooked. There's nothing you can do salvage it or save it. And another thing that I've been thinking about is they need to know that this place is a sinking ship. They know that we're on borrowed time. So
America's a scam. Like, the bubble had to burst eventually.
exactly.
When you're just playing with monopoly money and just not backed by anything, the economy's gonna collapse. It's inevitable. They just been prolonging it for so long.
So I'm thinking that all this is being done by design by Trump
Yeah.
because they're gonna collapse the economy, and then all the billionaires and millionaires are gonna come up and buy up everything.
And then when the money ain't worth nothing, they're gonna be looking for alternatives. And then here comes the MOTB. It's all right
That
there.
could be the next phase after this.
It's
Because
all right there.
the way this is looking, this is the beginning stages of the end of the economy.
Right.
Like
Like
this,
you said, we're already in a recession. They just don't want to report it.
like this is the end of the economy. In theory, if you're going based off the tariffs, because that's a horrible plan.
Yeah.
So we know it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So like you said, the next thing is gonna be the MOTB, digital currency.
It's step by step. It's like the domino effect. They're not just going to implement the MOTB right now. They're going to have to come up with a plan to implement it, like they did with the C-19.
Exactly.
It's all structured that way.
Word up. Got a precept. Get Ecclesiasticus 11 and 25.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 25. It says, "In the day of prosperity there is forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction there is no more remembrance of prosperity."
So when things is going good, people tend to have a more relaxed mindset. But when things aren't going your way, when things is going bad, people start being all frantic. And that's the times that we're living in now. Things is going, you know, people living paycheck to paycheck. They're not certain about the future of America and how it, or if they're going to be able to retire. Like, when have you ever heard of prices going up and then ever going down? Especially for like consumers and groceries and stuff like that. So eventually it's gonna happen. Like you said before, this bubble is gonna burst.
I was watching a video and they were showing how like the market, like the housing market increased.
You see how I look?
So the housing market went up, I believe since the 80s, I want to say it was. The housing market went up 200%. But people's wages for working jobs only went up like 58%. So people's wages and just the price of living is nowhere close. So it's like you're playing catch up. And how are you ever going to catch up to a 200% increase?
Exactly.
The American dream is a joke.
So what? People are just gonna get increased wages now? That's what's gonna have to happen for us to keep up? That's not gonna happen,
You can't.
obviously.
Yeah, nobody's getting a 200% increase. On your job, you're lucky they give you a 1% increase.
And then that also means that the value of the dollar is going down too if you increase
Exactly.
wages, because more people are going to have more money, and that influx of money into the system is going to naturally cause inflation. So, I mean, how do you stop this?
You can't. This place is through.
Interest rates are high. They're trying to lower them, but it's not making a difference.
It's not.
Because people already done racked up some debt over the years, so they don't want to get into some more debt. People already got $4,000, $10,000 on their credit card. They're trying to pay it off. They probably made that New Year's resolution. Hey, I gotta lay back off my credit card. You know what I'm saying?
You'll never pay it off. Imagine you got a 10,000, credit line. You done maxed out your credit card. Now you're paying 7% on the 10,000. You'll never catch up.
Exactly.
It's impossible. It's all a scam. know what? I gotta get it. This is Proverbs 22:7. It says, "The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender." This is all strategically done this way to, just have people in debt, because that's what's going to keep people working. When people feel like they got to, get up, go to work because they got to pay their bills, they got to pay off their credit cards. It's the matrix that everybody's caught up in.
Exactly.
Nobody realizes that this shit is completely, one, is unconstitutional, and second, it's just unfair. Nobody could live like this. It's only a matter of time before everybody is fucked. It don't matter how low or high you are on the totem pole. You can have millions in your bank account. You're still gonna feel the squeeze. And if you don't have nothing, you already feeling the squeeze. And it's only gonna get worse.
But the thing is, the richer you are, the more money you have, the more you're gonna be protected against this coming collapse.
You really can't protect your money here. You gotta pay taxes. Here you get paid, they take the money out your check, then when you go to spend the remainder that's left after they took theirs out of taxes, you gotta pay sales taxes on that now. Until you're left with nothing. You know how easy it is to spend like $500, $700 in a week? Like, that ain't hard.
Yeah. What you holding? You still on Ecclesiasticus?
Yeah. This is Ecclesiasticus, it's that 11 and 26. I'll read the 25th verse again. It says, "In the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction there is no more remembrance of prosperity."
Yeah, so everybody's looking for, prosperous times again. They're looking to escape the matrix.
It says, "For it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deeds shall be discovered. Judge none, blessed before his death, for a man shall be known in his children." Continue.
No, that's it. So this ain't the 1950s anymore, man. The 60s or
What?
this ain't the 1950s or 60s anymore, where you can work a regular job, a factory job for General Motors or whatever, and you can afford a house, support your family. You could even have a nice car. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those days is over. Now having those things and still having disposable income is considered a flex, really, right?
Yeah.
But then again, you don't really know how people are living because people are just really running things up on credit. So you might see somebody going on that trip to DR or Europe, Italy somewhere, right?
I hear that's a thing.
But you don't know how they got there.
Yeah, people paying for vacation on credit cards,
Yeah, that is a thing.
and they'll just worry about it later. They'll just
It's
pay
really
on it.
called doomsday spending.
Right.
You got a precept? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna read this real quick. I googled what is the American dream. It says the American dream is the idea that anyone can achieve success and prosperity in the United States through hard work. Here it is, the times we're living in now. I have never in my life heard of people working 2 and 3 jobs more than right now. You're working harder than we ever had to work in life, but yet we have nothing to show for it. So that goes to show you the American dream is a joke. Back in, like, say, the 70s, you could have a factory job, you could have a White House picket fence, a wife and children, and y'all could live off just your one salary. But now you got a household that has a man and a woman working, and the man might have 2 jobs and the woman have 1. People are working harder than ever, but they have nothing to show for it. That's proof that America is finished. Got a precept.
Yeah, you still got people over here that want to immigrate to this country because they want to be in the mix. They're going through fear of missing out. They might have other family members that are here, My family members might tell them what they got, what they have, and then they get to the point where it's like, you know what? I should make this joke. I should move to America. They don't even realize that they're coming over here to a sinking ship.
They drunk the Kool-Aid. They bought into the madness. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. I'll read it in the NLT. Actually, I'm gonna read Leviticus. That's what I meant. This is Leviticus 19 and 13. The King James. Says, "Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shalt fear thy power. I am the Lord Yahweh." Now I just want to read the 13th verse in the NLT. It says, do not defraud or rob your neighbor. Do not make your hired workers wait until the next day to receive their pay.
Shit, we gotta wait till the next week, the next 2 weeks.
Yes, that goes to show you this is all bullshit, because you have what they call fractional reserve banking. You know, they might not even have the money to pay you. That's why they'll wait a whole week to pay you when they actually have the money to pay you. But they don't really have the money in the account, which is just wickedness.
That's why when you go to the bank, you can't just go to the bank and withdraw.
I want to take out 100,000.
Yeah.
You can have it.
They're gonna be like, we don't have that.
Yeah.
We don't have that on us.
You'll have to wait a couple, maybe a day or two. They have to get it sent in. So they're making profit off your money, and they'll give you a bullshit, percent.
It's in the Brinks truck. I seen the videos. Some guy that was working for Brinks truck, he got robbed.
Yeah, I seen that. What did he do? It looked like would he pepper spray him or something?
Looked like he got pepper sprayed. Somebody pulled off a heist. I heard they ran off with $1 million.
He's gonna get caught. You can't get away with nothing in America. He's gonna get caught.
But that goes to show you how bad things are right now. Like, robbing banks, that's some 1970s flow right there. Like, who still robs banks?
Dead presidents.
People are that desperate these days.
This is Proverbs 22 and 16. And
it's windy.
can't wait for this shit to be over. Spring, where you at?
You know March be unpredictable.
Yeah. There's Proverbs 22 and 16.
Right now it's feeling like winter. It's like January.
So Proverbs 22 and 16 in the NLT. It says, "A person who gets ahead by oppressing the poor or by showering gifts on the rich will end in poverty." So here the top wicked elite, they're here oppressing the poor. Taxing people taxing people on the money they make working. One, that's unconstitutional in and of itself, but that's oppression. And then on top of that, that's what it's talking about when it says showering gifts on the rich will end in poverty. Here you are, you have everything, you got all the wealth in the world. The top 1% have over 50% of America's wealth, and yet the poor are still paying taxes to make those people richer.
That's the same way the ancient Roman Empire felt.
Right.
Because you had the ruling class at the top, the 1%, so they said, and then you had the rest of the people that were on the bottoms living in tenement buildings, getting sick, going through illnesses, different poverty. History repeats itself. And so it's the same thing today. Why do you think that dude, he iced that healthcare CEO? Why do you think he got iced?
Right.
Because it's a reflection of how people are tired of the healthcare system in this country. It's really based on making money. How are you try to make money off people's expense?
Right.
Like that what help?
It goes to show you it's a scam, because depending on what kind of insurance you have, the care you get is different. So say you'll fuck around, go to the hospital, spend $60 on an Advil, on a Tylenol, but if you got insurance, then you don't have to pay that $60. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then, oddly enough, the guy got fans. He got supporters.
Because people are through with this place. They look at what he did as like justice.
And when I seen that, it really didn't come as no shock to me.
You're going to see a lot more of that in the time to come. You got a precept?
Yeah. Ecclesiastes 7:14.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 14. It says, in the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider the Most High also hath set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him.
So Esau had his time to be joyful and prosperous. You know, back when the money was actually valuable.
Right.
You can get a house. You can have a job and support yourself and your family.
Yeah, he's breaking it down in the video I seen. He said in the 80s, you can afford the house. The house itself was worth $80,000. So your mortgage will be like $700 a month, and you can afford that in one check. So now here you spend 50% of your total take home is going toward just your housing. Nobody can afford to live like this.
And that's how you really judge the prosperity level of a country, is how citizens are living. You know, if they can keep a roof over their head, if they can afford the basic necessities of life.
Right. You work high. There's no reason why you're working a full-time job and you can't afford anywhere to live. That's unrighteous.
You got people that are hesitant to start families because they don't know if they can afford it. Not only that, the culture is doomed over here in this country.
Right.
You gotta also search hard to even find a woman that's worth dealing with.
You gotta search hard to find a woman, a good paying job.
Yeah, so all these obstacles that we're up against, it just makes for a time period of distress. That's what we're living in.
Continuing the class in Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, is there more?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 15. Oh, don't start that shit.
What?
It says, all things have I seen the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness.
Yeah, so read that again.
It says, all things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness.
Yeah, so in other words, nice guy finishes last.
Right.
You know, do the right thing. You don't care about gain. That's gotten by, you know, being ruthless. You know,
Doing the right thing isn't, praised here. Doing wickedness is what gets you praise here. It says, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness.
and that's your top wicked elite.
It says, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise.
And that's also the jakes that are making millions of dollars as well. People that are in the entertainment world. Because in order to make it in that world, you know, they say that you got to set up.
Yeah, all them drill rappers, your Chief Keef, all them niggas are cancers. It says, Ecclesiastes 7:17, it says, be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? It is good that thou shouldest take hold of this. Ye also from this withdraw not thine hand. For he that feareth the Most High shall come forth of them all. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. Continue or that was the message.
You can get Amos 6. Start from the top. And read it in the NLT.
Amos chapter 6, verse 1 says, what sorrow awaits you who lounge in luxury in Jerusalem?
Yeah, that's Jake. Jake's like Floyd Mayweather. Jake's like 50 Cent. You know?
Right.
I can go on and on.
Says, and who feels secure in Samaria? You are famous and popular in Israel, and people go to you for help. But
Yeah. Every time something happens to somebody within the music industry, who do they call? They call Jay-Z.
yeah,
Yo, we get up a hole. Remember Big Mill when he got locked up?
yup. Says, but go over to Calneh and see what happened there. Then go to the great city of Heman and down to the Philistine city of Gath. You are no better than they were, and look at how they were destroyed. You push away every thought of coming disaster, but your actions only bring the day of judgment closer.
Yeah, because you're not thinking about the ends if you got millions of dollars.
Right. You want this place to continue on forever and ever.
Right.
Shit, this is your kingdom. It says,
Yeah, so you rich Jakes, you already got your consolation prize. Your silk sheets. Your solid gold chains.
says, how terrible for you who sprawl on ivory beds and lounge on your couches,
Yup.
eating the meat of tender lambs from the flock and of choice calves fattened in the stall.
Your chrome heart beanbag chairs you sit on. I saw Tank Davis.
Yeah, I see that
I
shit.
think he was sitting on one of those.
He got the gloves, the punching bag, all that shit. It says you sing trivial songs to the sound of the harp and fancy yourselves to be great musicians like David.
Yeah, because you're within the music industry and the small hats is telling you to push a negative vibration on your own people, which leads to our self-destruction.
Right.
So that's you compromising in a way. You may not see it like that if you're the artist. You're like, yo, I'm just self-expressing myself. This is art.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like Sexy Red. That bitch is a demon. You think she's not here? You think she's not pushing an agenda?
And you want to know how true it is that the youth actually do listen? I mean, look at drill rap.
This shit destroyed a generation. I literally witnessed it firsthand. Like, I literally just seen it all play out.
At first, when drill rap came out, I liked it. I liked it. Then I fell back from it because I'm like, yo, it's too much.
It's
too much dissing. It's too much dissing and that and drama.
Yeah, the negative vibration. It's, Amos 6 and 6. It says, you drink wine by the bowlful and perfume yourselves with fragrant lotions. You care nothing about the ruin of your nation.
You don't care about your other fellow Jakes, Israelites, your people.
Right.
You got Jalen Brown, who signs the richest contract in NBA history, but he's talking about he wants to bring black wealth to the community, black wealth to our community, right? But you know how he thinks of going about that? Starting a non-profit organization, which that's just another way for him to have a tax write-off.
Right.
They always want to say that they want to have an impact in the community in a positive way financially, but they never put the money directly into people's hands. They always got to go through an organization. They'll give you resources, but they won't give you no money.
Right.
Which, how does that really help?
And who does that really help? Like who's really gonna benefit from it in the end?
I guess they view it as one hand washes the other.
You'll never have it the way you want it here. This is Amos 6 and 7. It says, therefore you will be the first to be led away as captives. Suddenly all your parties will end. The sovereign Lord Yahweh has sworn by his own name. And this is what he, the Lord God of heaven's army, says. I despise the arrogance of Israel, and I hate their fortress. I will give this city and everything in it to their enemies. If there are 10 men left in one house, they will all die. And when a relative who is responsible to dispose of the dead and goes into the house to carry out the bodies, he will ask the last survivor, is anyone else with you? When the person begins to swear, no, he will interrupt and say, stop, don't even mention the name of the Lord. Continue. That was it.
That's it. So it's the same old story. You know, Jake is looking for a come up. You know, the scriptures say that it's an easy thing for the Lord to make somebody rich. So you stretching for your ark now. I mean, just wait for it in the future, because everybody has their time in the sun. Even the king ended up becoming subject to poverty, and even the people that were in poverty became being the leaders, the people at the top. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened to Esau, because he was a low-level individual at one point. You know, that's the whole point of the Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth, because that was Esau coming back and taking control over the earth.
Right.
So he's at the top of the world right now, and we're at the bottom. But the time is going to come where the roles is going to reverse. You know, we're going to take over the world. And this is going to be a righteous way of living that we're going to experience.
This is Micah chapter 2. Start the first verse, reading the NLT. The header says, judgment against wealthy oppressors. It says, what sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so.
Yeah, and that's Esau. You know, when you
Who
think
can tell
back,
Esau anything?
when you think back to history and how they even got America, it was through taking it from the Native Americans, taking the lands, enslaving the tribe of Judah, you know, Gad. Really, all the tribes went through slavery. You know what I'm saying?
It says, when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence.
Exactly, but let's focus on America. Let's focus on Babylon. You know, they got this place through deception, through thievery. And so you think that we're gonna always just be in the bottom of society, you know, struggling? Could you picture a scenario like that?
The Lord wouldn't do us like that.
I know. So what do you think the whole point of the kingdom of heaven is? The kingdom of heaven is for us to start living lavishly. You know, Jake wants their ark now, but like I said, you're just gonna have to wait to the kingdom, because you're never gonna have things the way that you want it to in this side, in this world that we live in right now.
And anything you do get on this side is temporary anyway. The Lord's coming to destroy all this shit. Micah 2:2 again, NLT. Says, when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family inheritance. Now, who does that sound like? See, if you go ask a Christian, they won't want to give you an answer. But you know what nation of people that spits. That's Esau Edom to a T. It says, but this is what the Lord says. I will reward your evil with evil. You won't be able to pull your neck out of the noose. You will no longer walk around proudly, for it will be a terrible time. In that day, your enemies will make fun of you by singing the song of despair about you. We are finished, completely ruined. God has confiscated our land, taking it from us. He has given our fields to those who betrayed us. Others will set your boundaries then, and the Lord's people will have no say in how the land is divided.
That's exactly what has happened. You know, look at the Holy Lands. Everybody's fighting over that, but people don't even realize that the real, authentic people, they're not even there in that land today,
Right.
which is an indication that we're not living in a time of peace, because the Bible says that once the real, authentic people go back to the land, it's going to be a peaceful time of living. There's not going to be any war.
You got a precept?
Yeah, since I said that, could you get Isaiah 2?
So at the top.
Yup.
This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1, back in the King James.
I said 2.
Oh, Isaiah 2. This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1 in the King James. It says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days.
The last days has actually been taking place for the last 2,000 years. But now it's like we're at the end of the end, the last days of the last days,
End of the road.
the latter days.
It
You
says,
know,
and
really, it's not that much time has gone by if you ask the Most High, because the scriptures say one day to the Lord is like 1,000 years. So in actuality, it's only been two days.
please.
2 days for the Most High.
Says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the tops of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
So mountains represents government and rulership. So why isn't the entire world looking up to the mountain or government of Israel? Why aren't they? If anything, they're looking down on it. You know,
It says, and
that guy, the head of that state, you know, he's committing a genome. A lot of people have that mindset, and so what does the new administration do? They pour and dump more and more money into that war and supporting them. Yet they want to cut Medicaid, Section 8,
right.
food stamps, all this stuff that, you know, this guy's supporters voted for him. You know, all this stuff that they are recipients of, you know, they're no longer gonna get.
Yep.
So you voted for your own demise. And that's why the people are mad.
It's Isaiah 2 and 3.
One of the many reasons.
Says, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord Yahweh from Jerusalem.
Yeah, so out of Zion shall go forth the law. You know, are we all learning the laws, statutes, and commandments? Is everybody on this earth learning that? No. If anything, everybody's doing their own thing. You know, there might be a Buddhist, there might be a Satanist, a Muslim, a Christian. But the scriptures say that there's going to be a one authority over the world. You know.
It says, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Yeah, because it's going to be world peace. You want world peace? You got to wait for the kingdom of heaven.
It says, nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord Yahweh. Therefore thou shalt forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and are soothsayers like the Philistines, and they please themselves in the children of strangers. That's it on that?
Yeah, that's it.
I got a precept.
great.
This is Isaiah chapter 16, verse 10. Actually, start up some more. Yeah, Isaiah 16 and 10 to get to the point. It says, and gladness is taken away, and joy out of the plentiful field, and in the vineyards there shall be no singing, neither shall there be shouting. The treaders shall tread out no wine. In their presses I have made their vintage shouting to cease. So again, going into, Trump and, the things he's implementing, the people of America, you're going to feel the brunt of it when you can't afford, your housing anymore. You can't afford gas. You can barely afford to eat.
You got to sacrifice, folks. I got to pay this bill, so should I not pay this other bill?
Right.
Or should I put it on my credit card? And then I have money left over so I can buy this other thing that I need. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like you got to go through all these, you got to jump through all these hurdles just for your basic necessities.
But really what you're doing is putting off the inevitable.
Yeah. Because people, they just put it on their credit card and say, I'll figure it out when I get to it. I get to it when I get to it. But now, you got to pay interest on it. So now you're worse off than you was before. But again, this is all a system to just get you roped up and just have you as a slave. That was the point. You got a precept?
Yeah, Revelation 22 and
22 and what?
22 and verse 2.
This is Revelation chapter 22, verse 2. It says, in the midst of the streets of it and on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit.
So the tree of life is a representation of the knowledge and the truth. And they said, what? 12 fruits?
Right.
So 12 fruits represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Because we are the light upon the earth. Or at least we're supposed to be.
Yeah, right.
But right now, we're in our ignorance. I'll say we, because we all fell as a nation.
I mean, we are the light, though. Like, the men that's out there teaching this truth on the highways and hedges, we are the light to the elect. Maybe not to the world, like, the people that have nothing to do with this truth, but to the elect, this is the light.
Yeah. If you was to read that scripture, that word world probably is cosmos. But you don't gotta go to it.
Yeah. This is Revelation 22 and 2 again. It says, in the midst of the street of it and on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yielded her fruit every month. And leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
The healing of the nations. So we are the light upon the earth, the world. We're a light to ourselves, to our fellow Israelites, and we're a light to the other nations as well. So
it says, and there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it.
There should be no more what? No more curse. So, as it stands now, we're living under a curse. So when Yahweh Shai comes back, then there's going to be no more curse. We're going to be able to take over the world. We're going to receive the blessings in the kingdom. And who wouldn't want that?
Says, and there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads, and there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun.
So that's the elect that are sealed.
It says, for the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever.
Yes. So when we're in the kingdom of heaven, it's not like we gotta worry about being taken down or taken over. I mean, really imagine that. Imagine us living lavishly. We got everything we want. All this, all of this is finally over, and then we can really kick back and relax.
You'll have everything and forever to enjoy it. You'll never die. Your children will never die. Like, that's really like what we yearn for. You'll have your perfect body. Like it really gets no better than the kingdom of heaven.
You went to a vacation home in somewhere in Jamaica, you could have that.
Right. You can have just castles all over the planet, if all over the world if you want. You're not relegated to just your neighborhood.
Think about it. You're gonna be able to be a professional freelancer. Whatever you wake up decide you want to do that day, you could do it.
Right.
You want to go camping somewhere in Europe, you could do that. Go somewhere in the wilderness, in the woods, you could do that. You want to build the house of your dreams, you could do that. You want to have wives, multiple, you'll be able to accomplish that. You want land, riches.
Your children to be able to be children. They won't grow up in this wicked ass society where it just teaches them to be wicked and go against everything that you teach them.
You won't even have to think twice about having children, because you know
Right.
now you have children. It's almost like having like a curse over it, because you got to worry about how you're gonna support them,
Right.
how you're gonna be able to raise them, and then you got to work 40, 50 hours every week.
Right.
So what time are you really gonna have to cultivate your family? So,
I was talking to somebody.
oh, and your chick, she might leave you, put you on child support.
Oh,
I
God.
seen that guy DDG. You know that
Yeah,
guy?
it's the streamer guy, right?
Yeah, he was with Holly, the singer, actress, whatever.
Okay.
And he was complaining about how he barely could see his son. He's not allowed to see his son for more than 48 hours. So that's the type of shit we got to deal with in this kingdom. You know,
See?
relationships not lasting and splitting. You know, your woman being spiteful, and even possibly putting you on child support. You know what I'm saying? In the kingdom, you'll actually be able to raise your family the way that you would.
Yeah, goddamn it. Here in America, this shit is a matriarchy. This shit is completely backwards. Where the woman has all the say. You gotta just bend to her every whim to get what to just have some wiggle room, just to go along to get along. Like that's some bullshit. A man shouldn't be living like that. Because it really just makes you feel like less of a man. And that's not healthy. That was in a Revelation.
Yep. I think I got one more.
Perfect.
Revelation 18 and 2.
You said 19.
18, and actually you can start off at verse 3.
This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. It says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her."
So that's all the nations that have been in alliance with America. You know, they've made deals with America.
It says, "And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies."
Yes, because America is the biggest consuming nation on earth. And Trump knows that. And so what he's trying to do is use that to his advantage. But what's going to happen is it's going to backfire.
Right.
You know, I also think that, this is a Nino Brown situation. Like, this is a never die alone situation. So America, or the elites know that America is sinking. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna take down the rest of the nations with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's ultimately gonna happen anyway, because once America is wiped out, there's not gonna be anybody to buy any more Toyotas or Hondas. You know?
America, it's like you're trying to just I don't see how that works, because America doesn't create anything. You have nothing to work with. At least China creates something. If you're trying to play the game and see who can hold out the longest, America is gonna fold first, because we just consume here. We don't make anything.
Yeah, because like I said before, this is a sinking ship. So this could be a never die alone situation we're witnessing right now. You know, this could be the last final desperate attempt to save America. You know, by destroying the economy. Really, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
And Trump's trying to spin it off as if things is gonna be bad before it gets good. But I'm here to tell you that things is gonna get bad, and then things is gonna go from bad to worse.
right.
So, you want to finish that and then we close? I hit my second wind. I'm starting to feel warm now. You know, that's one of the signs of hypothermia. You start feeling warm. I've been freezing my ass off.
Never been. That was it, but I'll read it one more time. Revelation 18:3, it says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies."
Imports, exports. Now you got tariffs.
Yep. So again, this is all Bible prophecy, the economy collapsing like this. So people that's not, in the faith and have the true understanding and the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures, you think it's a bad thing, but those of us in the know, it's like we're glad to see this place go down.
And this is not even like the final ending.
We ain't really feel nothing yet.
This isn't that.
It's just the beginning.
Exactly.
So
The ultimate downfall is what America's wiped out by thermonuclear destruction.
right.
And remember, when Zelensky crossed over and had that meeting with Trump said you're gambling with World War III. So, America is deeply invested into that, and so is Putin. Putin is trying to keep NATO away from the Russian borders because NATO is not a part of BRICS, and that's why I also believe that BRICS is another side of the same coin. They say BRICS is supposed to be the counter to NATO, but really, I think that the elites know that NATO and the EU and America is through.
Yeah.
Like, it's coming to an end. And then so now they're trying to see who comes out on top on the BRICS side.
This shit is all. It's all, the bubble gotta pop. It's all make believe. This shit is not real.
And then Trump's saying, we don't need NATO. You see how Trump's trying to leave NATO too?
Yeah.
That's that scripture in Revelation where it says the beast shall hate the whore.
Yup. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So I'm telling you, these prophecies is coming to pass. You people just don't know what to look for and what you're looking at. Y'all just not in the know. But those of us in the know, this place is through. It ain't hard to tell. How long are we gonna live like this? We're gonna live here another 10 years? Where are we gonna be in 10 years if it's this bad and it's only getting worse?
That's true. I mean,
That's
think
why
about
this
it.
place is it. This is over. I don't believe the Lord is just gonna continue to do us like this. Like, how much longer, Lord? Like, when are you gonna send your son here to save us? Because we through with this place.
Right.
This place is you literally makes me sick to my stomach sometimes. Waking up, having to go to fucking work and bust your ass for nothing. This is like indentured servitude for real.
Yep. Word. So with that,
Sit on that, though.
we're going to wrap it up. Shalom. Until next time.
Shalom.